Baldur's Gate 3 top 30 mods in a game. The only mods that I would use on my run. There are around 2000 plus mods for Baldur's Gate 3 and 97% of those mods, so over 2000 mods, are sexual and cosmetic mods. So similar as the game is. The mods that I'm gonna give you, these top 30 mods, have nothing to do with that type of mods. Mods I'm giving are there for the gameplay. Utility mods, gameplay mods, difficulty mods, mods that will enhance the performance of the game. Only gameplay in my case. Let's not waste time. Let's go. We're gonna start off with difficulty mods that change the combat, combat part of the game, and the very first one would be immersive AI. What it does, it changes behavior of enemies. They'll stop dashing and they actually gonna try to hit you with a spell or with a basic attack. On tactician mod, of course. The next mod is probably the best mod on my list, and it would be doubled enemies in Act 1. I'm patiently waiting for doubled enemies in Act 2 and Act 3 until I start my new run again with all of those mods. What it does is what it says it does. It doubles the amount of enemies in Act 1. Extremely important. There's not enough enemies in the game. The game is way too empty with combat. There's a lot of empty areas, and once you encounter enemies, there's not enough of them. From Act 1 to Act 3. This mod will double every encounter, so if there were 3 goblins, there's gonna be 6 now in Act 1. It's gonna make the game 10 times more fun and harder, equals, again, more fun. The next mod would be enemies enhanced. What it does a lot of things. It gives specific spells, specific buffs to enemies, it makes enemies harder, The first mod makes them smarter, this one makes them harder. Basically, everything that you can cast, now enemies can cast as well. It's gonna make fights more fair, not only in your favor, as it is in vanilla version. The next mod will be Tactician Plus. What it does, you can tweak every stat in a game. You wanna make enemies harder, you can tweak them. You wanna make them easier, you can tweak it as well. You can change their HP, their armor, defenses, resists, and so on. Very useful mod if you are into tweaking stuff. I'm personally not, but it's worth mentioning. Now, what I said for tweaking, this is the opposite. Stronger bosses and enemies. Every single boss and enemy in the game is stronger, hence more fun, more challenge. Works exactly the same as tweaking, only you don't need to do a thing. You got everything on a silver platter, you install and you play. Very good mod. The only thing you'll need to pay attention to is not to collide with other mods, so read instructions please. The next mod will be little AI on enemies. What this mod does, everything that should have been done in vanilla, that's what it does. So health, enemies drop low, they can heal each other. They can throw flasks at each other. When you are low, they're gonna focus on your low team member and try to eliminate. If they don't have a target and if they can't reach a healthy member, they're gonna go for a kill on your downed teammate. Basically, this mod makes enemies harder and better in combat. If you stand close to an explosive barrels, enemies will trigger the barrel, and so on. The next mod would be better combat lag. You know how enemies are, in vanilla, especially with combat lag, that's kinda useless, to be honest. This mod will make it more useful, so you can actually see what's happening in combat lag. Now this mod, through initiative D20 initiative rolls, I consider this one extremely important. It's going to actually matter how you level up, what feats you invest into, what's your dexterity modifier, what are your bonuses as well, what items you equipped for initiative, because now initiative will matter in combat. It's extremely important, especially if you apply all of those difficulty mods, who's gonna play first, and it's gonna resemble stats as well. when you're gonna play. So this mod, I would say, is third by the importance. If the first tweaking mod that I gave you doesn't work for you for some case, you got difficulty plus. It does exactly the same thing. You can tweak everything in the game, health, damage, resists, and so on, for you, for enemies, for everyone. Now, for those that like chaotic gameplay and you wanna make chaotic combat, you got more actions mod. What it does, you can give extra action points or bonus actions to your party or to enemies, or to both, and you can create a complete chaos. If you find the game easy, you can give enemies double action points from what they usually have, and the difficulty will raise drastically. It's gonna provide more challenge. The next mod would be performance mod, or better to say Baldur's priority, CPU performance FPS optimizer. You know that, for example, in lower city in Act 3 you get like 20, 25, 30 frames. So for example, if you have 30 frames on average, it's a huge difference if you're gonna have 36 or 30. Well, this is gonna make it 36 with this mod, okay? Slightly better performance. Don't expect much, but still, even a frame or two that you can grab is worth it when the game works like garbage. The next mod would be Armor Overhaul. What it is, it completely changes the game. It's gonna make it more like Divinity Original Sin. If you remember, you had magic armor and melee armor, okay? Gray and blue. This is kinda similar. I'll explain how it works quickly. If you wear light armor and you're gonna evade non-stop, it's gonna have bigger armor class, but if you get hit in light armor, you're gonna feel the pain, especially with other mods. If you wear heavy armor, you won't be able to evade. You will get hit non-stop, but you're gonna mitigate all damage in heavy armor. It has better damage reduction. I hope I made myself clear of how this mod works. It completely changes the rules of the game and how combat works. If you ask me, far better than vanilla and Larian's version. And the last combat mod would be damage preview. You know that you can't see the damage. You need to hover over enemies, then you need to count, then you need to check the dices, then you need to count again, and then you need to assume how much damage you'll deal. If you do that non-stop in every fight for every single enemy, whether it's defenses or you wanna attack and so on, it's gonna take a lot of time. With this mod, you just hover over and you're gonna see the exact number of upcoming damage to yourself or to the enemy. Very useful mod. Now we're gonna go with some utility and weird mods. The first one in line would be Ritual Misty Step. What it does, basically you can spam Misty Step in exploration without wasting spell slots. It's gonna drastically speed up your run, especially if it's your second, third run. This is a must, so you can actually traverse and collect stuff faster. The next mod in line would be Camp Event Notifications. You know, when I was playing, I was always like, am I supposed to dream about where I'm supposed to camp to see cutscenes and new quests? This time, you're gonna get exclamation point above your head when you're supposed to long rest, so you don't skip cinematics and important quests. Very good mod. The next mod would be Heavy Utility mod, or better to say Party Limit Begun. Great if you don't care about gameplay. If you're there just for the story and you wanna play with all Origin companions, okay, so you go with Dark Urge and then you pick all Origin companions in your party, you won't skip a single dialogue, a single cinematic, you basically see it all on one run, but it completely ruins the combat. That's what a mod is. The next mod would be bags, bags, bags. It is what it says it is. You receive 1 million bags for each type of items. A bag for armor, bag for swords, bag for materials, bag for this, bag for that. Your inventory is gonna look cleaner, tidier, okay? That's what a mod is. Next mod is absolutely crucial. Highlight almost all. It is what it says it is. You hold Alt, and you're gonna see every little thing that exists that you can click on, loot, interact with. You won't do this with your mouse while playing, okay, to see what you can loot and what not, and then check the corners and whatever. You just hold Alt and you can see everything. Extremely good mod. It saves a lot of time. One of the things that annoyed me the most is when I get blood and dirt in face during cinematics, and it was in 90% of time. All of my cinematics are with blood and dirt. This mod, No More Dirt and Blood release version, it's going to remove all of those blood effects and dirt effects from character faces. For me personally, this is a great mod. Next mod, Golden Death Dice, is for those that like to gamble in real life. Now you can gamble inside the game as well. Check it out and what it does. The next mod would be Better Hotbar 2. Bigger and better hotbar. Okay, you can see more skills, you have more slots, user-friendly hotbar. The next mod would be Fonts Changer. If you dislike original vanilla fonts and you want something like, I don't know, handwritten fonts and so on, you have it with this mod. You can change how the game looks, okay? And it doesn't affect the gameplay at all. The next mod, very important mod, would be Auto Loot Seller version 2. Meh. If you play this game, you know that your inventory is always a mess, and there's tons of forks, spoons, bananas, rotten apples and whatnot. This mod will automatically sell all the trash you loot. Extremely good. Not only that you're gonna get gold immediately, your inventory is gonna be tidy and clean. There is no more clutter in your inventory. Very good mod. Also, the time-saving mod. If you disliked previous mod where everything goes on auto sell and you wanna check stuff, and if it's your first run but you like to accumulate items like I do, for example, then Carry Weight Extra Full Game Ready mod is the one you're searching for. You can't get encumbered, so you can just play without worrying of that stupid encumbrance and then cleaning up inventory every 5 minutes, okay? That's what the mod is for. If for some reason the previous mod doesn't work for you, there is a replacement. It's called Carry Weight Increase up to over 9,000. It does exactly the same as the previous mod. You cannot get encumbered and you can carry up to 9,000 lbs in your inventory, or should I say kilograms, whatever. The next mod would be No Inspiration Point Cap. You know that I at least had around 300 wasted inspiration points because I was always in cap and I was never using them. So with this mod you can easily accumulate 200-300 inspiration points so you can reroll dices, and what it means, basically you don't quick load, you just reroll your dices because now you have inspiration to do it. Okay, you need inspiration to reroll dices. Extremely important if you wanna save time and nerves. If for some reason the Better Hotbar version 2 doesn't work for you, you got the one that's 100% working, it's just Better Hotbar mod. Again, more slots, more rows and columns, hence more things you can cast and throw without entering your inventory. Now what I said for the hotbar, there is one for the inventory as well. It's called Better Containers. Bigger containers where you can see bigger amount of items in your containers instead of spreading it on your own. It's gonna be wider, basically. That's what a mod is. It shouldn't be called better container, wider containers. Good mod. The next mod is called More Spell Slots. If you love Divinity games, and Baldur's Gate 3 is not Baldur's Gate, it's actually Divinity Original Sin 3 with less spell slots. So if you enjoy Divinity and you wanna play Divinity Original Sin 3, where you get to have all the spells that exists in a game and then you can cast it with your characters instead of resting and switching spells and so on, More Spell Slots mod is the way to go. You just have all spells available, like in Divinity Original Sin, as this game should have been called Divinity Original Sin, not Baldur's Gate, because it has nothing to do with Baldur's Gate. The next mod is the very first cosmetic mod, and it's called, the very first cosmetic mod in my mod list, because I hate cosmetic mods, and it's called Dice Set Expansion. You get different colors on dices, so it looks slightly different when you roll dices. A lot of different colors, basically, that's the mod. The next mod is called All Items Release Ready. all items that exist in the game. And if you wanna check what build you wanna play, you make one save, one new save, you test out all items, you see what build you wanna go for, you see what is there, and then you optimize your build on your next run for the items that you can see with this mod. It's also good for creating content, to be honest. This is great for content creators. If for some reason you don't want to install encumbrance mods, you can at least install gold has 0 weight mod. So the gold doesn't make you encumbered. There's gonna be a lot of gold in the game, and gold has quite a lot of weight. So this makes gold weight 0, always, no matter how much gold you have. And the last mod, my list would be highlight everything. Everything that exists in a video game in Baldur's Gate 3, you can highlight by pressing Alt. Everything that you can click on, interact with, same like the previous mod I gave for highlight, it's just there as a replacement in case the first one doesn't work. Anyways, there would be top 30 mods for Baldur's Gate 3 in 2023. I would say that we need to wait for at least 2 more years, so around 2025, when and if the game gets DLCs, when it gets optimized, balanced, and so on, and then we apply mods for additional enemy spawns, AI, and whatnot. There's gonna be far better mods in 2 years from now. After all, these are just early mods that are worth getting in 2023, but very soon, in like a year from now, all of them will be outdated, of course. Have fun with the game, what can I say? If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. Thanks for watching.